In a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and whispering winds, there lived a story long foretold, a story of a promised child. The elders spoke of it in hushed tones, a prophecy passed down through generations. They said that when darkness would rise and hope would fade, a child of favor would be born, a child who would carry the light when all others could not. For many years the village waited. Seasons came and went, and life continued as it always had, simple, peaceful, predictable. Until one day a girl named Ayla was born. There was something different about her. The wind seemed to soften when she passed. The sunlight lingered just a little longer on her face, but despite the quiet wonder that surrounded her, Ayla herself never felt extraordinary. She felt what anyone would feel, uncertain, small, and sometimes afraid. As she grew, so did the whispers. Some believed she was the promised child, others doubted. But destiny does not wait for belief. One fateful day, the sky darkened in a way no one had ever seen before. The winds howled with a fury that shook the earth. Rivers swelled beyond their banks, and the ground itself seemed to tremble beneath the weight of an unseen force. Fear spread quickly through the village. This was the disaster the prophecy had warned of. In the midst of chaos, all eyes turned to Ayla. She stood at the edge of her home, her heart racing, her hands trembling. She did not feel like a hero. She did not feel ready. But deep within her, something stirred, a quiet voice reminding her that courage is not the absence of fear, but the strength to move forward despite it. Alone, she stepped into the storm. The winds roared against her as if testing her resolve. The darkness pressed in, heavy and unrelenting. For a moment she faltered. Doubt crept in. What if she wasn't strong enough? What if the prophecy was wrong? But then something changed. A warmth began to grow within her, a light, steady and unbreakable. It wasn't given to her in that moment. It had always been there. The power of her heart, her hope, and her love for her home. She raised her hands and the light began to shine. At first it was small, fragile, but it grew brighter with every second she refused to give up. The storm pushed harder, but so did she. And as she stood there, something remarkable happened. She was no longer alone. One by one, the villagers stepped forward, not because they believed in the prophecy, but because they believed in her courage, in her willingness to stand when no one else would. Together, their hope became something powerful. The light surged, stronger than the storm, brighter than the darkness. And in a moment that would be remembered forever, the winds began to quiet. The sky slowly cleared. The earth stilled. The disaster was gone. Silence fell over the village, replaced by the gentle sound of life returning. The rivers calmed, the air softened, and in the center of it all stood Ayla, not as a legend, not as a myth, but as a girl who chose to act when it mattered most. The elders would later say that the prophecy had been fulfilled, but those who witnessed it knew the truth. She was never chosen because she was destined. She became extraordinary because she chose to be. And so the story of the favored child lived on, not as a tale of power, but as a reminder that even the smallest voice can rise against the greatest darkness. If this story inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel Viral Nest for more powerful stories like this.